00224 and download the app so that you can, of course, enjoy all the exciting programs. Of course, we are live on the app, so make sure you download and, of course, follow us on all the platforms. We'll be giving you updates on all the platforms. On Twitter, we'll be tweeting. On Instagram, you can see all our posts and all our videos. And of course, on Facebook, you can also watch us live on Facebook. On all those platforms, you can also get updates on Digits. So just go to all the social media platforms, Digits 1024. And of course, you can get a lot of updates. I'm going to be speaking with a very special guest this morning. Well, when I heard about his story, I was also interested to also knowing exactly the full breadth and length of his story. I made sure I didn't ask him anything about the story. So, a spoiler alert for me. So, the story is going to be fresh for me as well as it is going to be for you. Okay. So, my guest today on the show is a special, special guy. I'm telling you, he's a special guy. I know he's a content marketer and he's doing a lot of great stuff with his life. But there was a situation, a circumstance that he went through, and he wants to share his story with everybody in the world because, these are things that happen within the family circle. He wasn't in talking terms with his father for 29 years. 29 years is a long time. 29 years, that's what he says. He's not been in talking terms. I don't know why. You don't know why. So he's here to tell us. And of course, there will be morals of the story and what we can learn from the story. If you want to call in, don't forget 0809 888 1024. This story just reminds me of the time my father were not, seeing eye to eye for maybe about 2-3 weeks. Yes, I had to leave home for a while, but came back. Well, it's not as long as 29 years. For someone to, be not in talking terms with the father for 29 years, there is a story there. So, ladies and gentlemen, please let's welcome our special guest today. His name is Habeeb Salaudeen. Hope I'm correct with that name. Did I get it? Absolutely. Congrats, man. Thank you for coming to the show. This is your first time here at Digits 1024, your very first time.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Although, I have a little, I would say, history with Digits FM, yeah? That was, I think, 2005 when I was trying to put my feet on the floor. Yeah, so I think I interned with Digits for about a month or two or so. Yeah.
Really?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I did.
All right. So, your story, got my interest because when we have such stories, usually it's on my program. We usually air it on a round of applause because this, obviously. It's an issue for an applause for you to have settled such a long-standing issue with your father. So very quickly, let's go down to it because a lot of people are listening and they want to know. Their ears are itching. What happened? So
I can imagine.
Yeah. So start from the beginning.
That's
Yeah. Start from the beginning. What happened?
Actually, I guess I would have to give you a little background of the kind of family I grew up for.
That's fine.
Right. So I like to start by saying I grew up with two dads.
Okay.
And then when I say I grew up with two dads, it's not. I'm not saying my mom. She wasn't infidelity. It wasn't a case of infidelity or anything, right?
Okay.
And so if you read this book, Rich Dad Poor Dad,
okay,
by Robert Kiyosaki. So I have a similar story to that, right? So imagine two friends grew up together, so they love each other so much that after school they learned to work together because then they didn't go to school like university, so they learned hard work.
Okay.
Right? So they learned work together. After finishing work together, right? After learning the work, they started a business together.
Yeah.
Built us together, married together in the same house. So that's my perfect story, right? So those are my two fathers. So coincidentally for me, like I mentioned in the Rich Dad Poor Dad, my father was like the rich dad. By rich, I don't mean financially, but I mean he believes in education, even though he's not educated.
Okay.
He's willing to sell anything in his last plot for him to train the student. While my second father, which is not my biological father, by the way, is late. He died in 2017, right?
Oh.
So may so appreciate. So he doesn't believe in education.
Okay.
So that's the kind of background I grew up for. So each of them have two wives, and the way God structured it for them is we are like generation in the house.
Okay.
So each of them have married two wives, and then which is two dads and then four moms in the house. And then whenever each wife give birth, about after 2 or 3 months, the next one will give birth, and the next. That's how it's structured. I belong to the second generation.
Okay.
So for us, the four of us, I think the second one, I'm 29 years now. The second one is also 29, but I think it's about 8 months between us. And the third one is 30.
Okay.
So 29, 29, 30, 30, that's like, well, that's by the way.
That's
So it's
serious
like
mathematics.
opposite land, my God. Absolutely. So our story used to inspire a lot of people because I grew up in Kano State, by the way, in the north.
Okay.
I was born and brought up in Kano. I schooled by University Kano. That's all my life is in Kano State, right? So our story used to inspire a lot of people out there. So that whenever we're walking in the maybe like if we're in the midst of people, they always see us as fortunate because our story inspires people. People feel like, wow, you guys are lucky for you to come up in this one. But my dad, both of them actually, they are very respected in Kano State
Okay.
when it comes to like because people even give us the word gaskia. Gaskia means truth.
Truth.
Which is imagine these two close friends doing like brothers, which is in a nutshell like very inspiring. But then even though while we're outside, people always tap inspiration from us, but indoor at home is a different story entirely. So I had a different background growing up. Like averagely, every kids whenever they're in school, maybe university. So the moment the school is rounding up, maybe after the exam, so students are always happy that they're going home, right? So just to their parents to take a break. For me, it was a different case. I find joy when I'm outside, when I'm in school, right? But whenever I'm going, it's like God, I'm going back to prison.
Okay.
And so before I continue, I just want to say something because I actually made up with my dad. And dad, if you're watching this, listen to this now. I love you so much. I love you, dad. Right? And so before there's something that already happened, right? My dad is like I said, he's a very nice man. Really, he's down to it. He's a very good man. However, which is part of my story today, is actually it's going to be like in two places. First, I'm speaking to dads. And I'm also speaking to children now. If you're a father out there, I feel like, wow, you, in as much as I understand that, okay, you have your sons, your daughter's interest, your children's interest at heart, but you should take it slowly. You should come down to their level. Don't always be too over harsh. So that was the case of my father. So I remember growing up, as in, whenever we're in the sitting room with the children now, the moment you hear the pum, 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 that sound, that honk for a car,
that is right.
the rest will peak from the sitting room to our living room. Because trust me, and it's better that way for you, because if you didn't run, if you have to stay in the living room, the moment they enter, I'm telling the both of them now, there must be something wrong. Is it that your leg is dirty? Is it that you put your leg on the chair that you're supposed to do? There must be something wrong for you to be either beaten or to be scored excessively for. That's the kind of background I grew up. So, and in my house, I'm like the black sheep of my family. And I will explain. Even though, sometimes I'm saying my dad, because even though both of them are like very strict, and they are so close so that nothing can actually come in between them. Not even their wife can come in between them. They understood their self to that level, so that whatever you hear from person A, which is that A, that's the same thing you hear from the other person. As they don't contradict each other. They don't, even their wives. You remember they say as a women can actually come between men.
Yeah.
But their case is different. Their wife can't even come between them. That's how strong their bond is. All right. So like I mentioned, I said I'm a black sheep, and there's a reason for that. But because I've always been this kind of kid that ever since I was a child, I don't conform to trends. I don't conform to society. So I'm always a go-getter. Even though I knew that, because as then we don't go out. We're like the perfect definition of get inside students. Get inside children, right? We don't go out.
Get inside.
Not like we're so don't read, but it's get inside. You can't even go out. You can't even socialize with friends. But even though I knew that, I will still go out regardless. Even though I know that when I come back, it's going to result in beating. I'm still going to go out regardless, but that's me. I don't conform. Like, I don't just know this man. No, you beat me.
Last.
Last, that guy, that's me. I think I actually took after that, for me, right? Because my dad is a perfect division of that guy as well. As he doesn't even show weakness. I remember a time, there was a time my dad fall really sick. Even though it's clear that this man is sick, he wanted to go to work. People were like, my mom was like, the mom saw it and I was like, can you just like chill and then rest? And he was like, no, it's fine now. He had to go to work and then he fainted. Wow. He was rushed from the work to the hospital. I'm going to give you the definition of how hard guy he is now. When you're hard guy is him. That's like hard guy. But that's by the way. So I'm just going to give you like a background to how I grew up.
Yeah.
So that in my house, while growing up, I'm like the most punished. So most beaten. So even though, today, probably, and I understand that maybe it's kind of due to the way they are being brought up. And that's like the only way they understood to bring us up. Me particularly now, because I'm talking for myself now. So, and even though they have my interest, it wasn't from a place of hatred. It was from a place of love. That this side, I want you to be the best of yourself. I want you to be a better person. But indirectly, without him knowing, which is my dad, he has installed this application in my head, which is hatred. So that right from childhood, I can't stay with the same with my dad for 3 minutes. I'll feel like choking. Wow. I'll feel like life, let the ground just open, let me just enter. You get where I'm coming from, right? That hatred is there. And even if it's there, he didn't even notice. Till my primary, secondary, university. As a result, I started drinking alcohol from 13 years old, I think. Then I started smoking from, I think, 17 years old. Weed now. But God so good, I think I left that now, right? But we're still going to come to that. And so I could remember them growing up because I'm a polio survivor. As a matter of fact, when I walk, I don't know if I can. I'm a polio survivor.
Wow.
Yeah, I have polio. So let me just, when I walk, this is exactly how I walk. I don't know, can you see me?
Yes, I can.
When I walk, I kind of like bend like this. You know, so when I walk.
Okay. Wow.
So that's exactly how I am, right? So imagine a child like that, and then when my dad is beating me, he would go to a stage, I will annoy him. That's me. I've always been stubborn. I will frustrate his life. And my dad is an egoistic person. You understand? So imagine an egoistic father beating a child, and the child won't cry. The child will be doing your day, he got so frustrated that he would drag my leg. Like this, drag my leg, beat me. And then there's a particular word he always use that will break me down. Even though, I won't cry physically. Then after a while, when I'm reminiscing on his words, it will really hit me hard. He used to call me Gurugu.
Sorry?
Gurugu in Hausa language. I will explain. Gurugu is an Hausa language. Okay. Gurugu is like an handicap. You understand? Aro in Yoruba. When he called me that, oh my God, I won't cry in his presence, but then deep down in my room, whenever I'm left alone, I will reminisce on that, but it will break me down. So that whenever I'm walking in the society, maybe in the street, when I see normal people of my age walking, automatically it gives me this low self-esteem. I feel like they are above me automatically. So I have to do something to meet up to this, to the society, to conform with the trend. As a result, I started drinking and then smoking just to level up in the society, just to meet them. You know, so just to be like, okay, I'm also an hard guy. I can do this. So people must fear me. I must level up. Of course, there wasn't someone I can talk to because as a child, you need someone you can trust, you can open up to. But I don't have that while growing up. I don't have a mentor. I don't have anybody. So I could only handle the situation to the best I can.
Wow.
Yeah. So fast forward, I remember during my I think is it 200 level university, Bayero University, Kano, right? Because in Bayero University we have two campuses. So there's the old campus which is for science students, and then there's a new campus, right, which is for the commercial and then arts. So I belong to the old campus, and in the campus there I sang a song. Listen, Emo, I didn't kill someone, I didn't steal, I didn't commit murder or any other thing. I sang a song. But because, I told you the kind of family I come from, so whatever you want to do, you must consider the home you're coming from, right?
Yeah.
Because I come from a Muslim background, my dad is an Alhaji, people look up to him. So, and then, it got to a stage whereby this song actually blew the campus. Like, literally, I was like the talk of the town in the campus. There was no show, there was nothing that was going on in the campus without me, except participating in it. So at a point, I used to be an MC at an event, but then I've always been this creative person. So for me, creativity is the only way to get out of to give me that sanity.
Yeah.
I just want to create. There's that fight that's just boring. I just want to create, sing, and do all this. And the song, I could still remember the lyrics of the song. The song is titled "She's the One."
Okay.
Right. And to cut the long story short, so I had this cousin in 400 level in the new campus. In every family, there's always that one person. There's always that one person I too know, I too do. So it was one that carried the news to my dad at home. Imagine what this boy is doing. This boy is now singing in school now. Trust me, if I had gotten supported, but that's by the way, right? I would probably be the next Whiskey or the next Davido.
Yeah.
By the way, because I knew I'm a very talented child. I'm very creative, right? And so it got to my dad. Long story short, I was summoned home. That was, I think, I normally refer to that incident as World War II. Absolutely, Emo. We dragged this case for almost 2 months, really. I think I was disowned about 2 or 3 times.
Wow.
It got to a stage where I was depressed. As this child, I was like, when you have this feeling like, I wish this man could just die. I wish Moto could just jam this man so I could just live my life, so I could just have my freedom. So from that settle, we later settled after 3 months. So we settled as the only condition was I'm to revoke all the song. Both the link that's gone online, everything, I'm to revoke and then never go back to it again. And as a result, it even affected me. I think I graduated the 3rd class and I had that extra year. I was supposed to graduate 2013 or 2014. I graduated 2014, so I started 2015. So as a result, while I was in my penultimate year, 300 level, I had planned my exit strategy. That if the moment I went for my NYSU, I am never coming back to this house again. And ever since then, I've never been to Kano State. Like ever since I left the house for my NYC. So to cut the long story short, after my graduation, I came back to because I was posted to Hawaii bomb, then I replied to Ibadan. So after I finished school, you know the way normal students of my peers they would just like the CV, start looking for a job. I didn't, because my drive was, like I said, my dad is my greatest inspiration. I just wanted to prove him wrong that this man, I will show you that I can make it on my own. And then once I make it, I'm gonna earn your respect. For me, I'm running away from my problem. That was my exit strategy. Not knowing that even though when I leave home, his shadow will still follow me wherever I go. So to cut it long story short, I think the first job that I did, even though I was hustling my creativity, I think that was why during 2015, I said I interned at Digital FM. Before then, I worked with Power FM, Kano, I've worked with Tiwantiwa TV, a lot, just to get on my feet. You understand? I can remember going to Katangwa Market with my last salary to get this okrika. You know this okrika, thrifts.
Yeah.
So I'll pick a lot of, with 19.8, I think. I'll buy a lot, and I'll buy shirts. When I go to Ibadan, I wash them, iron them, and package them into nylon, and then post them online and sell. That was why the whole journey about the online marketing at the industry comes up.
Nice.
Fast forward to from the 2015 to 2020, last year. Even though I was away from home, his shadow, like I said, is still following me here. We still have the issues once in a while, every quarter. So now it's not the issue of you don't call. It's like almost every quarter we must have this family issue, although on phone now, not on this. There must be like this, always this issue of. And the funny thing is, my dad doesn't call me. Like that's the level of the suspense. And then when I didn't call like in 2 weeks or something, he's gonna call. He'll probably tell my mom or something. Then there's gonna be a good issue. We're gonna solve that issue on phone for like 2 or 3 weeks. Automatically, here's how the issue always go. He will vex, and then I have to call and apologize till later settle. It's probably the definition of a minimum beer. Like, let me point you. There's this shadow. You don't have anything to say. You understand? So that's the level. So fast forward to 2020, last year. Oh no, okay, sorry, 2021. By the way, I quit drinking alcohol and smoking last year, though. It was part of my resolution for 2021.
Great.
But it just happened. Like I just felt like, you know, when you've done something, you've been here. You know, I don't did it now.
You've been there, done that.
Done that.
You have the T-shirt.
Yeah. So the thing just like, I feel like this alcohol is this thing for me is just a peer pressure. I don't even alcohol. I enjoy this smoking. I don't enjoy this alcohol. As a result, I had to quit last year, right? But that's also so something happened about 3 weeks ago. It's the beginning of January, right? I think it's 3 weeks or 4 weeks ago. My dad had an accident. So it got to the extent that it was so serious that his leg was swollen. So my mom called me that as usual, because whenever anything is going on at home, it's my mother. My mom is like our channel of communication. She will call me and say, "Call your dad." And constantly I voiced that. Why is it that he can't call me? Is it that do I look so small? Like is it like I look like a primary school child or something? Like my dad can't even does it despise me that much that he can't call me? You have to like call me, then I have to call him. So when she called me that my dad had an accident, the question I asked her, is it dead? You know, my mom was like, are you okay? Are you mad? How can you be talking like that to your father? I was like, is it dead? Okay, it's not dead. Okay. Can he talk? Say, yes, he can talk. Have him call me. That's conversation I had with my mom there. So like 3 days later, I didn't call. But of course, you know that dad is not, they always win. Parents will always win. Nigerian parents, they have a way of winning. So after I just summoned I just called him. So now, when I'm calling him, I'm not calling because of course, we've lost this chemistry. This chemistry is not there. You know, when you're just calling someone, you're talking, and then you're not feeling anything. You just feel like you're talking. So I called him because someone has an accident, not because my father has an accident. So the empathy I was giving, it's just like a normal human empathy that I would give normal person, not for my father now. So I called like, hello, sir. Okay, I heard you had an accident, blah, 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 blah. Oh, sorry, are you taking your drugs? I'm not saying like fake the chemistry, the empathy that's not there. You get where I'm coming from? I'm not quite sure how I can actually explain it for you to get to the until you've finally been there. Where you know you don't like someone, but you just have to like pretend just to go with the flow, because if you didn't call, there's gonna be a problem. So I called him, we got talking, he was like, yes. He was like, he even wanted to send me the picture of the swollen list on WhatsApp, but he can't find me online. I was like, I guess it's network. Meanwhile, I'd block him on Twitter, Instagram, all the platform, like out of my life, everything. So I now quickly, after the call, I quickly went and opened my WhatsApp. Then you now sent it. That's why, wow, this is serious. Please take your drugs. Then that was it. Then 5 days later, my dad called me. I was like, Habeeb, so you called me 5 days ago. That's so that you knew my situation and you didn't even call to check up on me. Does that make sense? Before I could say Jack, he dropped the call, automatically waiting for me to call back so we can drag the beg me, I don't beg you. And at this moment, I was already, I've had it up to here. Like, you know, when you push someone to the wall. And then at that point, I was like, I was done. So when he called, you know, automatically I was supposed to call back. I didn't call. After like 3 days, now it's going to like almost 2 weeks now. You know, the issue, you know, and the way my house, my dad is this, issue escalates. And it's going to give you like 1 day. After 1 day, you're supposed to call. You didn't call at me. 2 days. Now it's not getting to 1 week. Then he reports me to my mom. My mom now called me. So when she called me, we got talking again, like, oh, your dad is so. That why you like, why do you always prove stubbornness? I got so pissed for the first time, like, you know, because I have this very smooth relationship with my mom. Even though my relationship is smooth, there are things that I want to tell her, but I can't tell her because I knew that I'm not in good form. You know, of course, that not everything is woman talk now. There are things you want to tell your dad, but because you're a guy, but you can't tell because you're not in good form. You just have to make choices on yourself as a man.
That's
Which
right.
is why for me, a lot of the mistakes I've making, like a lot of lessons I've learned in my life, I learned through my own mistake. That's the kind of person I've been, right? So we got talking. She was like, and I was like, oh, if you can't face your husband and tell her that, oh, this is what he's doing to me, that I am not okay, that we need to talk about this, then don't come to me and tell me to beg him or something. I'm done begging. And then I dropped the call. There's something happened after I dropped the call. I told myself, Habeeb, you're an hypocrite and you're a coward. You just accuse your mom of something that you've been unable to do yourself for 29 years. You can't face your dad and you're accusing your mom of the same thing, being a coward. That was what it did. That was what I told myself then. And before then, like for the past 3 days, before my mom called, so I've been having this chronic insomnia. I can't sleep. Like I normally sleep around 2 a.m. and then wake up 5 because I'm a morning person. Yeah, so is my dad. So for the past 3 years, this particular day, it was on Saturday. That was, I think, 2 weeks ago. That's 2 weeks ago. When I had a discussion with my mom, it was around 9 p.m. When I dropped the call, then this headache resumed again. I normally have this headache by 1 when I'm about to go to sleep. But this one, the moment I dropped the call for my mom, I have this chronic headache. Like it's been so serious. You get me coming from that? I was able to sleep. Then at exactly 3 a.m., I just woke up and I came to my, because I work from this exact desk that I'm speaking to you now. So I just came here. Then I pick up my pen. Of course, you know, I'm a content creator now and I'm a business strategist. So I use the same trick, the same emotional blackmail. I've been using it on me all while. So I wrote a script. how I'm going to talk to him. But before then, I analyzed his SWOT, his strength, weaknesses, opportunity, and threats. Because I knew my dad. I know he's a very egoistic person and I'm a business person. So because whenever we are marketed to people, right, first you analyze their weaknesses. You understand? It is that weakness you communicate to as a content creator. You speak to their weakness.
That's right.
That's the only way you get them to tell stories and then they connect with you. So I use the same experience from content creation because I could write a script for a movie. That's how badass of a content creator I am. So I wrote out the script, everything. I had my plan A, plan B, plan B. If I say this, I'm sure you will say this. Then if you say this, I will say this. That's exactly how I structured the script. So my plan was to wake up around 6 a.m. and then book a flight to Kano State. So at this point in time, I had planned that no matter what will happen, even if the world is coming to an end, I'm going to face this man today. This one that I feared for tonight, I'm going to face it today. So at this point in time, it wasn't a case of, I was ready to face that fire. So that I'm ready to tell you my mind. Then if I tell you my mind, then if you say no, it's not the case of you against me, and not me against you, but I've tried. So at that point in time, I was frustrated to the level that, okay, I'm ready to cut him off for good. Now it's not him disowning him, I'm ready to disown him as a father. If I face him and he's already ready to trust me, I've been pushed to that level. But because that same day I have 2 classes, 2 webinars I was also attend. One at night and then one at 3 a.m. So I couldn't make it. Then my plan B was to call him. So I recharged 5,000 naira credits. Still, that's that 3 a.m. while I was writing the script. I planned everything. So then my plan C was to, if he didn't pick, maybe if the conversation didn't go well, because I knew my dad is a better person, he might drop the call at some point. So my plan B, my third plan, my plan C was to send him a voice note. And then if that didn't work out, probably on Monday, I will now book a flight to Kano State.
Okay, wait, let me just stop you there quickly, just briefly. You know, you said a lot. Like, I'm sure we can make this into a movie, like a good Nollywood movie. Because
absolutely, I'm working on it.
You're working on it. I love to see
by the way, if you have any producer or anyone, please let me know.
Maybe.
Well, that's by the way. I guess we'll talk more.
We will talk more on this because I'm sure a lot of people are listening and you know, they are just following this story and they're eager to hear how you
It
solved
was
this stuff.
resolved.
How did you do
Absolutely.
it? So let's just hang them, in that suspense. I'll just go on a quick break, and when we'll come back, you're going to tell us how you did it, because that is
Absolutely.
where the juice is. Thank you for sharing this. I mean, listening to you now, I'm like, can you say I didn't want you to stop? I couldn't even stop you, because I'm
I
telling
can
you.
imagine.
Yeah, so let's just go on a quick break, and then we'll come back. You tell us how you solved this issue. Guys, if you're listening, don't go away. We'll be right back to listen more to Habeeb's strategy on how he solved this long story. Okay, so I was told that we should continue this story, because a lot of people are saying, man, let's continue. No break, man, no break. Don't hit the break. Let us continue. Okay, so tell me, Habeeb, how did you do it? What did you do? How did you solve this?
Okay, so we're going to act a movie now. You're going to be my dad, and I'm going to be a B. Are you sure you can handle it?
I don't think I can. Oh my! Because from what you've told me, he's really a lot. I don't know. I don't know. Okay.
All right, all right. I guess I could try. So whenever whenever you hear me use deep voice, that's
Okay.
my dad.
That's your
But
dad.
if I use my normal voice, that is Habeeb.
Okay.
Cool.
Let's go. Cool.
All right. So at exactly 6 a.m., because I knew his routine. I knew he's also a morning person like me. So normally he woke up by 5 a.m. and after praying for like 30 minutes or 1 hour, so he doesn't have to sleep. He's either doing exercise or scolding someone for
Okay.
a mistake. That's a normal routine. So I knew at that time he would be awake. So I called him at exactly 6 a.m. Remember I said now the issue has escalated because I know I've analyzed everything. So I
Yeah.
called them. This is exactly how our conversation goes. Hello, salam alaikum, sir. Wa alaikum salam. Although we speak in Yoruba, I'm going to translate it in English language, right?
Okay.
Good morning, sir. Yes, good morning. Now the conversation has changed to sarcasm now. Yes, I can hear you. All right, sir. Actually, there's a reason I'm calling, sir. And I'm just calling to ask for a favor from you. This is something that I've never asked ever since I'm born. If you can actually do this for me, it's going to be like the greatest joy of my life. What am I doing? I'm massaging his ego because I know the kind of person he is. He said, what do you want? What do you want to do? Continue. That is giving me that. I don't have time before I drop it. I knew. That's okay. Thank you, sir. And okay, I'm just going to ask for 10 minutes. Uninterrupted 10 minutes of your time. And then if you can just give me these 10 minutes to listen to what I'm about to say without interrupting, trust me, if you want me to come to Kano now, I'm ready to book a class at Kano. I'll come and clean your shoe. Again, massage is ego, emotion. I'm a storyteller. I know it's my job. You understand? At this point, I've gotten his attention because there's something called hook story of my content, right? But this I've hooked him. I've gotten his attention. He was like, okay, continue. I can hear you. I said, thank you, sir. So I said, okay, sir. There's actually something I believe in this life here. So whenever you have a relationship with someone, if you're in a relationship with someone, be it your child, your father, your son, your wife, your spouse, there will always be a problem. It's like, okay. And I said, okay. And the thing is this: you don't have control over that person offending you. The only thing you have control over is how you choose to react, how you choose to handle it after it has happened. And to the best of my knowledge, there are two ways to handle that situation, right? One way to handle it is to call the person and go, okay, my child, or my wife, or my husband, or you did this to me. It's not cool. Why did you do it? And the moment you actually utter that word, that person, if it's a reasonable person, he will come to senses and then apologize deeply from their heart. And chances are that when they apologize, they will make amends. They won't do that thing again. That is one way to solve it.
This is exactly what you were telling him.
Exactly, word for word. Okay. I scripted it down. Actually, the second way to solve this problem, like you normally do, Dad, this time around, he said, Aru now. Now he has loose guard already now. Hard guy don't fall. Because I've gotten his attention. Then this is my penetration strategy now. I said, okay, this time around. So the second way to actually handle it, like normally do, Dad, is to call the person. You understand? Try to scold the person, and then withdraw. And the moment you withdraw, you're expecting the person to come and meet you to apologize. And this is the person already know that the only thing you want is an apology. So even when the person is coming to you, they're not coming because they are sorry. They're just coming to apologize. And the chances are that even when they apologize, they would still do the same thing over and over and over again. So I said, Dad, do you remember that ever since I've been in Kano for the past 6-7 years that I left home? Like we normally have this issue of apology, I don't call, like at least every quarter. This one around is confused. He doesn't know where I'm going. Right? Now, for me, that's my 10 minutes. My 10 minutes is gone now. That's okay. The reason I'm calling you now is to let you know there's actually a problem. There's a reason I've not been calling all this while. There's a reason we're having this issue. So are you ready for us now to solve this issue man to man? This is what I'm saying. I said the father to son. No. Are you ready for us to solve this issue? As a man to man, father to son, or you want us to continue business as usual. At this point in time, I had got his attention. Adman is very funny. Like, I could hear this confusion. I could sense this from his voice. I could hear this, this. So, Odajika saw. Let's continue. Okay, let's talk about it. This is my dad that, I'm not saying even the kids now, it's elders, his brothers, they can't even face him to talk. No one. I did what about 5-6 generations in my entire family I've not done. I started to talk to my father. At this point in time, he was ready to talk. Then, the moment I got his attention, I gave him from Justice Revolution all the things. First of all, I made sure I understand his perspective. That I knew that he started to give us the best life. But while doing that, he has overdone it, and as a result, he has planted this hatred, this despise, this distancing between us. So I'm not trying to just call the old, I can't give it like word for word now. So to cut the long story short, I ended this was how I ended my conversation. I said, Dad, do you notice I bought a car? Because I got a car last year. So I told him that, Dad, do you notice I got a car last year? He was like, no, he doesn't notice. And you didn't tell me. I said, yes, they said I didn't tell you. I said, as a matter of fact, I have 2 reasons why I didn't tell you. It's okay, why? I said, because if you remember that, you got a car 2018 because he changed his car from one to Sienna. If you remember you got a car 2018, did you tell me? He said, no. I said, okay, as a matter of fact, I heard from my mom. So I wanted to feel that pain. So I wanted to actually hear either from my mom or from someone in the house that we got a car. So you cannot call me and tell me why did you tell me you got a car. So I can't say that you didn't tell me how to get a car. I said, that is one. The second reason I didn't tell you because I'm not even sure if you have my interest at heart as a father. So I'm not sure if I tell you how exactly are you supposed to assimilate it that you won't have it in mind that this boy is now rich and he needs to take care of us. So I'm not sure I can tell you that you can understand that, okay, whatever I send, you can say, okay, you can have it, you can just take like that this is what I have. Now you misunderstand that I'm now okay, and I'm not what to do. Boom. At this point in time, for the first time in my existence, I had my dad cry over the phone.
Wow.
He cried. To cut the long story short, Emo, he apologized. He apologized and he told me, Habeeb, I love you. For the first time. It sounds so awkward at the first time, but he said, I love you. I told him, Dad, I love you. And for the first time in my life, I spoke to my dad freely. You spoke like you're speaking to someone. There's that connection there. For the first time in my life, he asked about, because before then, whenever he asked about my job, I'm like, I'll just explain to him. Fine, I'm doing this. To him, it's like, it shall know that because, parents of now, of that generation, they can't also understand this our generation job, this phone business, internet business. They don't understand it. No matter, I remember my mom came visiting 2018 or 2017. Yeah, she came. I was in my room working on a laptop. She was in the sitting room, and then she asked me, "What are you doing? Like, what job are you doing?" After explaining for like 5-10 minutes, guess what she asked me? Shake his head, say Yahoo. Hope it's not Yahoo. So they don't get, even though he doesn't get it, then you understand. But then I just like, let's just move forward. But for the first time, I explained to him and he understand where I'm coming from. Then we talk about marriage. I tried to tell him, okay, I'm not actually ready. No, I'm not ready, but then I'm still taking my time because I don't want to marry two wives. I don't want to cheat on my wife. And then forever for me, it's too long for me to rush into. For the first time I could talk to my dad, like I feel like you're talking to a friend. You're connected. And guess what, Emo? He went after, because we had that call from 6 a.m. to I think after 10 or 11 for almost 34 hours. We had that conversation on phone with my dad. And the last thing he said to me before we dropped the call was, but you also have an issue with me. He said, why is it that this thing has been going on for a very long time for my life, also 29 years, and I never actually asked him. I just laughed. I said, okay, I'm going to give you a simple answer now. After this call, ask your wife, which is my mom, ask her what I told her. Okay, first I said, did she tell you anything? I said, she won't tell you. And he said, ask her that, okay, I told her something 3 days ago. Now why should she tell you? Then just what happened, after the call, the moment I dropped that call, the headache that was worrying me disappeared. Remember I told you now I didn't sleep. I slept after I didn't sleep. Then I woke up around 5. I did my normal morning routine, my meditation, exercise, and reading and all that. Then at that 6 a.m. I called them. Then I was still having this colic headache because at this time I slept only 1 hour 30 minutes for that day. That Saturday. It was on Sunday morning rather, when I called them. So the moment I dropped that call by 11, my headache disappeared. Like it was magical. I felt like I was living in, this movie, living in bondage. But first, I felt like that movie was for me. I felt like I was relieved, like my arm, I could fly. Then I went out to get fuel because I didn't take my car. The filling station is close to my house. I got the fuel. Then when I returned, I was supposed to give the guy 50 naira. I gave him 500 naira. It was about giving it. I said, no worry, just leave it. He was like, I got 500 naira. He doesn't understand the joy. This is what I've wanted for the past over 29 years. But I couldn't just face him. I couldn't summon that courage to face him. And ever since that incident happened, like I've made it to the point of my life that before I sleep every day, I must inspire someone out there to find the courage to either ask for forgiveness or to forgive someone in your life. Trust me, Emo, there's a lot of people actually have a lot of potential. You actually have a lot of things you're supposed to achieve in your life. But because of the hatred you have in you, or because you haven't someone the courage, you understand, to either ask for forgiveness or to forgive someone, you can't even free your mind so that you can actually see opportunity. For the first time in my life, I could communicate to someone, I could inspire someone, I could talk. Now, listen, it wasn't that I wasn't good in my job. Oh. As a matter of fact, I told you, I'm a content influencer. I create content for people on my page, and I promote brands. But then, even though while I was still doing this, I was making good money. At least I was living a good life. But I feel like something was always missing.
Something was always missing. Yeah, yeah.
For me, it was always, I know I was actually doing a job. I'm not doing it purpose. I've not found that thing yet that is worth living and dying for. That thing that I can actually wake up and do for free. That thing, that this desire, this passion to just to do something. Like I'm sure as I'm speaking now, you can feel the fire. You can feel like
too much fire.
I'm speaking. Trust me, like it's been magical. Emo, there's someone somewhere out there now. As a matter of fact, if you're a youth within the age of, when I say youth now, I mean a millennial now. I'm sure if you're under the age of 24, 23, 20, 18, you might not really relate. But if you're between the age of 25 and then 40, and you still block your parents on social media, something is going on. Something is wrong. It's not right. Even though we've normalized it, but it's not right. Check that. Something is wrong. To cut the long story short, Emo, because I have a lot of followers on my page, Canva Lord. I have a lot of community, so I share that story at night. Trust me, that live video because it was Instagram live, I had about 1,800, almost 2,000 views. People joined that live video.
Live video on Instagram.
How huge that is. Yeah. On Instagram.
Yeah, I checked your page, Canva video, Lord. Yeah.
Oh, okay. If you see the number of messages I get, emails from that same story that I shared, I got 3 clients, 11 leads. As a matter of fact, there was a lady that called me from Gambia. She's actually going through the same thing I was going through with her dad as well. But she hasn't someone to call you to just challenge that because our fathers, like our parents, like I said earlier, I guess it's because due to the way they brought up, this superiority complex is just so much. They feel like they own you, like you don't have the right to say. I don't want to use the F word, but you don't have to want to say anything. You understand? Whatever they say, you just have to concur, and it's so much. This lady has been it's been going on for over 5 years. She hasn't just somebody call you, but because of my story, she actually talked to her dad, and now they are settled.
Wow. Habeeb.
So, Emo, that's my story. So you're inspired.
Your story has, I don't know how to say, but you have started something. I mean, trust me, not just only in me, but so many other people who have listened to the story. What a story. What a story. Right here on the program, it's called Round of Applause for a reason. It's because we are looking for Nigerians who have done something exceptional, either with their life, with their work, with what they do. And this is exceptional because there are a lot of people who would rather, choose to continue this, long stretch of silence between them and their loved ones. And they're like, man, life is fine. I'm making money. But you are a perfect example of a young person who knows exactly what to do that is right, and you did the right thing. And just like you said, there's something that happened to you. You got freer in your spirit, you got freer in your mind, and of course you don't know what has also happened with your dad. For him,
okay, sorry, hold on. Sorry.
Okay, so there's a little part. Okay, just tell us 1 minute. Just tell us that little part.
There's a backup story.
Oh my
3 days later, my mom called me.
Okay.
Remember I said I hung up on my mom 3 days before I called my dad?
Yeah.
Before we settled. And she called me. Oh, no. She called me on Monday, as a matter of fact. On Monday morning. And when she called me, she just started praying. Oh, mommy, what do show you? What don't kill me with prayers. What happened? He said, I won't understand. I don't have an idea how productive my dad has been.
You see.
Like, my dad could now call them to talk. My dad could not call them to ask for feedback. She was like, Habeeb, how did you do it? This boy has where did you get the wisdom to talk to your dad? How? Like, she can't phantom it. Like, your dad called me and said, yeah, Mosura, because my sister is Mosura, so you call her Mosura. He's like, Mosura, I want to ask you a question. Am I wicked? Like, am I a monster? Am I unapproachable? Then my mom didn't say anything. That was a silence. So that silence justified my talk. You remember the last night I said to her, ask your wife?
Yeah.
Immediately, my mom gave her that silence. Then he broke down again.
Yeah.
And then he apologized to them. And then
Yeah.
ever since that day, he's been very productive, very careful with
Very
his work,
careful.
and then very, like this relationship, he just want to talk. He just want to solve rather than the normal scolding.
He too had a moment of self-reflection,
I said he told me that after the conversation, he told me that in his entire existence, no one has ever told him the truth like this.
Yeah. So, what this reminds me of is that when we forgive people, it's not just only for us to feel free, but you also give them the opportunity to make right what they've made wrong. So
Absolutely.
so it
Absolutely.
it is like a symbiotic effect that happens
It's
in
a
our
win-win.
lives. Yeah. So, Habeeb, thank you so much for sharing this story. I look forward
It's a pleasure.
to having this story, or not just as an interview, but just like you said, like a feature film, like a stage play, things that would really resonate with so many people, and of course will begin to birth change, like and take away those toxic feelings that family members and loved ones have for each other. Here on the show, we want to give you a round of applause to tell you that you made a good decision, and we're proud of you. We're proud of you. So just wait. You are going to hear it very soon. You're going to hear it very soon. We're going to give you a round of
Thank you,
applause.
thank
To
you.
appreciate you for doing the right thing, for being an example to young people, an example to even father figures, mother figures, parents. Parents listening that will listen to this show, they're going to take a cue from this and do what's right. We have all experienced this, but yours was, I think you did something that, just like you said, nobody had been able to do in your family, in your generation. So you are a barrier breaker. Can you hear that? Can you hear that?
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
I feel it.
That's
Thank
for
you. Thank
you.
you so
That's
much,
a round
Emma.
of applause for you. Thank you for coming on the show to share your experience. We look forward to having more conversations beyond this, and we look forward to seeing that your life becomes the epitome of what people would look at and be encouraged. Not just for your
Thank you
family
so much.
name, for so many young people out there. It's a pleasure meeting you, Habeeb. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
Nice to meet you, Emma.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Have
much.
a wonderful day.
You
Bye.
too. You too. Bye. Bye. Yeah, that's Habeeb sharing his story with us. Man, how a young man, endured a lot of hardship from his father, even though he understood that his father was trying to give him the best, but then it rubbed off on him on the wrong note, and of course he had to fight a lot of negative emotions, hatred in his heart. But then as a young man who's going forward in life, understood that yes, you may be making progress financially, but what about your heart? What about your emotions? So he made it right with his father, and of course that had an effect on his father too. And so it was a win-win for everybody. I hope as you were listening and watching, you were inspired. If you're having issues with any of your loved ones, family, people around you, please try to make it right with them. Sometimes it's not just for them, it's for you to also make progress with your life. Definitely. And of course, so for God to be happy with you, let's try to see how we can bridge those gaps that have been created by life. I hope you have been inspired by this edition. I have. It was wonderful, being the first edition.
There can
I'll
only
be
be
having
one
2021.
online radio with
How we say here on Indigenous Radio,
1024 Radio.
a
Your
positive mindset
refreshing
is all we
radio.
need for a better society. Think positive, speak positive, and remain optimistic to refresh Nigeria. Don't forget, go to your Google Play Store, download the app, Digits 1024. I'll be coming to you with more interesting, life-transforming editions. If you're one of such people who have a story to tell and you need a radio station to give you that platform to tell the world your story, please don't forget to call 0809-888-1024. You can also send a message to that number, or you can send us a DM on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Digits 1024. I would love to hear your story. I would love to hear your story. I would love to talk with you on radio. I think there is something that you have that you could say that would change somebody's life out there. Don't hold it back. Don't hold it to yourself. Let us have the opportunity to interview you on radio for free. Let's talk about it. This is a new year. It has been a tough time, trying time, COVID, and all that has happened. The least we can do is to share our stories that could still inspire people, educate people, and inform people on how to live their lives. It's been a pleasure hosting you on the show. I'll come your way very soon with another edition, with another life transforming story, and it could be yours. So until then, if your hands are not too busy, give yourselves a round of applause and have a great weekend. Don't forget, my name is Oladapo. God bless you.
Hello people, my name is Ovi Agbani.
Daniela Oji.
Mr. Akan.
It's Bright.
This is Clay, Nigeria's #1 rock star.
It's your boy Nothing Do Me and this now
DJs.
1024.
Radio, your refreshing radio.
Don't touch that dial.
Cause what this boy?
Inga with drugs.
Cause what this boy?
Inga with drugs.
To the 2-pack.
Hey, mellow.
Yeah. This is 1024 radio for you to listen. If you want to get information, if you want to get deformation, if you want to get motivation, if you want to get connection, if you want to get adoption, if you want to get